Welcome to Occupancy 5, and welcome to this AI Care Agents 247 AI Governance Learning Pathway Explainer. I am so thrilled to be exploring this with you today. In this cornerstone module, we are laying the absolute groundwork for your AI governance journey. Specifically, we're talking about building a service practice right after certification. Now, earning that credential is a massive, commendable achievement. Seriously, great job. But the real work, the day-to-day reality, begins when you need to move from merely holding a piece of paper to actually running a viable, impactful business. So once you have earned your credential, how do you actually build a sustainable service practice? You've likely put in the late night studying, you've mastered these incredibly complex frameworks, and you have all that technical knowledge securely locked in your head. But, technical knowledge alone just doesn't keep the lights on, right? Unfortunately, server hosts don't accept AI frameworks as payment. We are going to build a bridge between your passion for doing good work and the practical reality of structuring an enterprise that actually survives, thrives, and scales. But before we get into the exact nuts and bolts of pricing grids and proposals, let's take a quick second to ground ourselves in exactly why we are doing this. As a California nonprofit, AI Care Agents 247 is deeply dedicated to a very specific, community-focused mission, and that is moving nonprofits, legal aid organizations, and clinics from confusion to governed action. This explainer is a critical piece of a broader pathway built precisely for that purpose. We want to empower you, the practitioner, because your service practice is going to be the vehicle that delivers vital clarity to organizations that desperately need it, but often feel completely locked out of this rapidly moving AI landscape. Today, we are diving into the business side of AI governance. We will cover how to structure your pricing, specifically comparing standard retail rates against nonprofit-supported models. We will also review how to build a retainer menu, structure a proposal, and draft solid engagement letters. Section 1. Welcome to Occupancy 5, the Sustainability Challenge. Let's look at setting up those crucial operational guardrails. Look, there is an intrinsic tension here, right? A real pull between margin and mission. A lot of highly motivated professionals enter the AI governance space with huge hearts, entirely ready to help local community organizations navigate the wild west of artificial intelligence. But to build a truly sustainable practice, you've got to embrace a dual pricing model. Think about it. If you only charge drastically lowered nonprofit rates across the board, your business starves. On the flip side, if you only charge high corporate retail rates, you completely lock out the exact community organizations we are literally here to help. Balancing these two models intentionally is the absolute secret to a long-term, fulfilling practice. Sections 2 and 3, Pricing for Profit and Purpose. Let's break down exactly how you structure those prices. Okay, let's anchor ourselves in the true, tangible value of this professional service, $5,000. This is the commercial retail value for a standard AI risk assessment. Having a standardized number takes the frantic guesswork out of billing. And if you're wondering why it commands that rate, just think about what this assessment actually does. You are auditing complex AI systems, you're identifying critical vulnerabilities, and you're providing actionable frameworks that prevent companies from making catastrophic, incredibly costly errors. You are mitigating massive institutional risk. That $5,000 figure perfectly represents the commercial benchmark for that caliber of work. But now, contrast that previous figure with this, $2,500. That is a massive 50% subsidized rate strategically offered to nonprofits. Knowing your $5,000 retail rate first is what allows you to confidently offer this subsidized rate to the legal aid clinics and community organizations that desperately need your help, without devaluing your expertise. You are deliberately subsidizing it to ensure you can move those vital organizations from total confusion straight into governed action. As you view this service menu and pricing grid here, notice how we structure our fees to tell a complete story. For example, an AI risk assessment might carry a retail value of $5,000, but we offer a 50% subsidized rate of $2,500 for nonprofits and even sliding scales for severe hardship cases. Having this 3-column layout in your toolkit is honestly an operational lifesaver. This grid ensures you can sustain your practice and grow by taking on standard retail clients while remaining deeply structurally committed to community impact. Moving on to Section 4, Packaging Services and Retainers. Let's see how we package these raw numbers up. Step 1, build a retainer menu. This gives your clients really attractive options for ongoing month-to-month advisory support rather than treating you as just a one-off project hire, which, by the way, hugely stabilizes your income. Step 2, structure a proposal. This is the narrative where you clearly outline the client's problem, your specific solution, and the required investment. And finally, step 3, Draft solid engagement letters. This is where you legally protect yourself, define the exact scope of work, and formalize the whole professional relationship. You are building the operational bridge that transitions a prospect into a protected, paying client.
Section 5. Proposals and engagement letters. Let's dig into why these matter so much.
Now, a beautifully written proposal is absolutely what wins the business and excites the client, for sure. But a rock-solid engagement letter is what protects the practice you've worked so hard to build. In the world of AI governance, where technical risks are super high and regulations are constantly evolving, having clear boundaries and a thoroughly documented scope are absolute necessities. So, before you take your first client meeting, you need these essential operational tools prepped and ready: your service menu with a dual pricing grid, a retainer menu for recurring revenue, a strong customizable proposal template, and engagement letters ready for immediate signature. Once these 4 elements are dialed in, boom, you've successfully transitioned from a certified individual to a functioning business.
Section 6. Taking governed action. It is time to pivot from theory to real-world implementation.
To start packaging your services for clients, download our proposal and retainer templates. Seriously, you need the right tools in your hands without having to reinvent the wheel. Be sure to check the description below this explainer to download today's practical output. Getting these templates is your clear next step. Once you have them downloaded and tailored to your specific practice, just proceed to the next module on the playlist to continue building your AI governance foundation. I want to conclude with this final thought today. With a sustainable practice securely in place, how will your AI governance expertise actually change your community? By mastering this business side, the pricing, the proposals, the retainers, you are no longer lying awake, worried about keeping the lights on. You are finally free to do the important work. You are free to guide those nonprofits and legal aid clinics out of confusion and firmly into governed action. You already have the credential, you now have the operational toolkit. So go out there and make a profound impact. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.